Good morning, all. Day 1. In day 1, what are all the questions? 10 questions were been asked, and day 2, 10 questions were been asked. So I will discuss first day 1 questions, then I will discuss day 2 questions, then we will go for PYQs and the content. Okay. So day 1, first question. Regulating Act of 1773 designated the Governor of Bengal as Governor General of Bengal. Yes or no? Yes. The Charter Act of 1813 led to creation of Board of Control. The Charter Act of 1853 abolished trade monopoly of East India Company. Whether it is 1853 or... Yes, this is wrong statement. The Charter Act of 1813 led to the creation of Board of Control? 1784, Pitt's India Act. So answer is what? A, 1 only. This is also wrong. First statement. Second statement. Please you correct with the question paper which we gave. You have to correct. If you have, you correct. Yesterday's question paper, do you have? Online, you can open your online paper also. Just do the correction. Which of the following act created an all India authority depriving the governors of Bombay and Madras of legislative powers? Means the governors of Bombay and governors of Madras were being made subordinate to Governor General of Bengal. Through which act? Regulating Act of 1771 or Pitt's India Act or what? Charter Act of 1853. So 1853 told that 1853 or 1833 or what? Which of the following act created an all India authority deprived the governors of? 1833, this act was final step towards, so it deprived the governor of Bengal, Bombay and Madras of their legislative powers. Yes? Next question. Which of the following is incorrect with regard to Government of India Act of 1858? What are incorrect? First one, abolition of East India Company. Yes or no? Yes. Governor General of India redesignated as Viceroy of India. True. It provided for the Secretary of State for India who is a member of British Cabinet. True. It resorted the autonomy of British provinces. No. So answer is D. D is wrong. Next. Consider the following statement. Indian Councils Act 1909, introduction of communal electorate. Government of India Act of 1919, abolition of diarchy or introduction of diarchy? Introduction of diarchy. Government of India Act 1935, residuary powers vested with provincial governor or viceroy? Viceroy. Indian Independence Act, abolition of office of viceroy. So answer is how many pairs? 2 pairs. Answer is B. Only 2 pairs are correct. Consider the following statement. The Constituent Assembly was constituted in September 1946 or November or December? December 1946. It's the Constituent Assembly was constituted as a scheme of Cabinet Mission Plan. Cabinet Mission Plan was constituted in November under the Cabinet Mission Plan. I told you, each and every aspect of Constitution, each and every, confidently you are dealing wrong. Negative marking. Negative marking only. Means finished. So, Cabinet Mission Plan, Constituent Assembly, Constitution, Preamble. Compulsory 1 or 2 questions will be there. Each and every facts is important. Again, I am repeating. Next question. The Indian Constitution of 1950 is an evolution, continuation from the Regulating Act of 1773. Indian Constitution of 1950 is an evolution, continuation from the Regulating Act of 1773. This is first statement. Second statement. Every act sought to address the mistakes of the previous act. True. All the acts till Indian independence are framed by the British Parliament. All these acts. Viceroy was personal representative of the Secretary of India in India, or he is a representative of British Crown? British Crown. So how many of them are correct? Only 3 are correct. Last statement is wrong. Yes. India is an evolution. Correct. 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 And this is incorrect. Why? Because he is not a personal representative of Secretary, but he is the representative of British Crown. Viceroy. Which act? 1858. 1858, Governor General of India became designated as Viceroy of India. The Regulating Act of 1773 made the governors of Bombay and Madras independent of Governor General of Bengal. The Regulating Act of 1773. Regulating Act of 1773 made the governors of Bombay and Madras independent of Governor General of Bengal. Yes. The Amending Act of 1773. Amending Act of 1773 or Amending Act of 1781? 1781. What is there in Amending Act of 1781? Governor General and Governor General Executive Council will not come under the ambit of Supreme Court. So the Amending Act of 1773 sought to completely replace the Regulating Act of 1773. Pitt's India Act laid the foundation of a dedicated body dealing with political affair. Dedicated body will deal with political affair, that is Board of Control. Charter Act of 1813 imposed a positive obligation on the part of company towards natives. Charter Act of 1833 marked a shift in the activities of East India Company. So how many of the statements are incorrect? So first you tell me, this is incorrect. Yes or no? Second, next. The Regulating Act made the governors of Bombay. So the first is made the governors of Bombay and Madras independent of Governor General. The Regulating Act actually made the governors of Bombay and Madras subordinate, not independent. If they make common sense also will tell that if they are made independent, then there is no power for Governor General of Bengal. So he will be having more power when compared to Bombay and Madras. Second statement, Amending Act, the name itself is wrong. Amending Act. Pitt's India Act laid the foundation for dedicated body called as Board of Control. Correct statement. Imposed a positive obligation on the part of company towards the natives. Yes. Marked a shift. Yes. So how many are incorrect? 1 and 2. You tell me this. First Governor General. First Governor General of Bengal. ఫస్ట్ గవర్నర్ జనరల్ ఆఫ్ బెంగాల్. లాస్ట్ సంబంధం లేదంటే ఇలా ఫస్ట్ ఆన్సర్ చెప్పండి మీరే. స్పెట్స్ ఇన్ ఫ్రంట్ మీరు ఎస్ వారన్ నెక్స్ట్. ఫస్ట్ గవర్నర్ జనరల్ ఆఫ్ ఇండియా విలియం బెనిడిక్ట్. ఫస్ట్ వైస్రాయ్ ఆఫ్ ఇండియా లార్డ్ క్యానింగ్. సో హౌ మెనీ ఆఫ్ దెమ్ ఆర్ కరెక్ట్లీ మ్యాచ్డ్? ఓన్లీ 2. ఎస్. నెక్స్ట్. Tell me this answer. Fast. Yes. Constituent Assembly was formed based on direct election or indirect election? Indirect election. Objective resolution of the Constituent Assembly was passed by? Nehru? Nehru? Yes. Next. A strong center was favored by the constitution makers in the backdrop of partition. You meet after the class. A strong center was favored by the constitution makers in the backdrop of partition horrors. Tell me, yes or no? A strong center was favored by the constitution makers in the backdrop of partition horrors. A strong center, yes or no? Yes. A Constituent Assembly played a dual role as a legislature and a constitution making body till 1950. Yes or no? Yes. The Constituent Assembly as an interim parliament elected the first president of India. Yes or no? So how many of them are correct? C. Yes. See how many are correct? 1, 2, 3. Only 3 are correct. Next question. 5 statements. Yes. The territory of India is as much wider expression than the Union of India. Yes or no? Yes. Part 1 of the Constitution deals with the Union and its territories. Yes. No foreign territory has been incorporated into India since independence. No foreign, Puducherry we had, Goa we had, yes. A state's reorganization bill can be introduced in the parliament only with the prior recommendation of the president. Yes sir, Article 3, Telangana with prior recommendation of president. Next. Fazal Ali Commission recommended the abolition of fourfold classification of states under the original constitution. Yes. So how many of the statements are correct? How many of the statements are correct? 4. Yes or no? This is test 1. Test 2 we will do. Test 2 we will do by the time we will do PYQs. Again we will come to test 2. Okay, yesterday's test. 2024 PYQ. What type of questions they are asking? What type of questions they are asking? As per Article 368 of the Constitution of India, the Parliament may amend any provision of the Constitution by way of, we can add like socialist secular integrity, we added variation, we amended, altered, we repealed, we removed also. So answer is, means today's topic is what? Today we are going to discuss about citizenship. Today we are going to discuss about philosophy of the Constitution. Today we are going to discuss about amendment of the Constitution. Today we are going to discuss about basic structure of the Constitution. Again, I am repeating everyone. If you study and come, this particular sessions will be very much helpful. If you don't study and just come and sit, you will be getting bored, I will be getting bored. So it should be an interactive session. You should involve, I should involve. This is not regular classes. This is not at all regular classes. You have to study and come, and you should also involve. If you involve more, then I will also get more interest. Okay? Yes. Next question. We know that 1, 2, 3. The 71st Amendment Act 1992 amends the 8th schedule to the Constitution to include which of the following languages? Yes, this is important. So now we will remember 12 schedules. So compulsory there is a question on schedules. Compulsory there is a question on schedules. Compulsory there is a question on parts also. As I told you yesterday, 30% of the questions will be very easy questions. In this category will come. But factual. 12 schedules are there. What are the 12 schedules? We will try to remember. First, Schedule 1 talks about what? State and union territories and their boundaries. States, union territories and their boundaries. Schedule 2, special powers, salaries of who? President, governor, speaker, deputy speakers of Rajya Sabha, Lok Sabha, Supreme Court and High Court judges. Up to judges. CAG is there? CAG is not there. CAG is not mentioned in the schedule. CAG is mentioned in the Constitution of India under Article 148. Schedule 3. Oath and promises of who? President and Vice President. All authority except President and Vice President. It is not a President and Vice President except President and Vice President. First, Union and its territory. Second, yes, salaries and allowances. Third, what? Oaths and promises except President and Vice President. Fourth, Rajya Sabha. Rajya Sabha MPs. Rajya Sabha MPs is fourth. We will get confused here only. 1, 2, 3, 4. One is union and states and its territory. Second is salaries, allowances of up to high court judges. And third is oath and promises except President and Vice President. Fourth is Rajya Sabha MPs. Fifth, schedule areas. Sixth, tribal areas. 7, federal features, division of union list, state list and concurrent list. 8, languages. 9th, 9 is what? What is present in the 9th schedule will not be subjected to judicial review. 10th, anti-defection law. 11th is Panchayati Raj. 12th is urban local bodies. So these are the 12 schedules of the Constitution. First is union and its territory. Second is salaries and allowances. Third is oath and promises except President and Vice President. Fourth is what? Rajya Sabha. Schedule areas. Schedule areas in the mainstream India where the tribals are located in the pockets. In that 10 states are there. Those 10 states are called as Schedule 5 areas or schedule areas in mainstream India. Schedule 6 is in Northeast India, the tribal people in 4 states, Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura and Mizoram. That is called as Schedule 6 areas or tribal areas. Schedule 7 is what? Division of union list, state list and concurrent list. Schedule 8, how many languages are there? 22 languages are there. Now you see the question. The 71st Amendment Act 1992 amends the 8th schedule of the Constitution to include which of the following languages? So, 71st Amendment Act added Konkani, Manipuri, Nepali. Konkani, Nepali and Manipuri. Whereas 92nd Constitutional Amendment Act added Maithili, Bodo, Dogri and Santali. 4 were been added, 3 were been added. 71st added 3 and 92nd added 4. On this basis, the question was been asked. So what is not added by 71st? Maithili is not added. So answer is 1, 2 and 3. Which of the following statements are correct about Constitution of India? Parts. The question is about parts. Powers of the municipalities are given in part 9A of the Constitution. Emergency provisions are provided in the 18th part of the Constitution. Provisions related to the amendment of the Constitution are given in the 20th part of the Constitution. So one question he asked, which year this is? This is even asked in 2024. Yes. Correct about the Constitution of India. Now we will remember the parts. Parts of the Constitution. Part 1, Union and its territory. Part 2, Citizenship. Part 3, Fundamental Rights. Part 4, DPSP. Part 4A, Fundamental Duties. Part 5, Union, in which there is executive, there is legislature. Part 6, State legislature. State, in which legislature is there, in which executive is there. State. So, 5, Union. 6, state. 7 was removed, omitted. Why? Because earlier 7 used to discuss about part B of the states. So now after state reorganization of states, part A, B, C, D was been removed. So part B, 7 was been omitted. Now part 8, UT. Part 9, Panchayat. Part 9A, municipalities. Part 9B, cooperative societies. Part 10, yes, schedule and tribal areas. So 1 to 10 we will try to remember. 1, you know, up to 4. 4th is what? DPSP. 4A is what? Fundamental duties. 5 is union. 6 is legislature. 7 is omitted. 8 is union territories. 9 is Panchayat. 9A is municipality. 9B is cooperatives. 10 is schedule areas and tribal areas. Done up to here. So it is up to here. Then 11, center-state relations. Relation between the union and the state. Which part? 11th part. 12th part, finance, property, contracts, suits. 12th part. 13th part, trade, commerce, intercourse. 14th part, government jobs. Services under union and the states. Which part? 14th part. 14A, tribunals. 15, elections. Again, 11th one. Center-state relations. You remember like this. Center-state relations is 11th. 12th is what? Finance, property. 12th? Trade, commerce, intercourse. 13? 13 is what? Trade, commerce, intercourse. 14th? Government jobs. Government jobs. 15th? 14A, tribunals. 15? Elections. Again. 10? 10. Schedule areas and tribal areas. 11? Center state. 12? Finance, property. 13? Commerce, intercourse. 14? Government jobs. 14A? Tribunals. 15? Elections. Up to 15 it's clear. 15. 16. Special provisions related to certain classes like SC, ST, OBC, reservation. Those are certain provisions for classes, not for states. Which part? 16th part. 17th part? Official language. 18th part? Emergency provisions. 19th part? Miscellaneous. 20th part? Amendment to the Constitution. 21st part? Temporary, transitional and special provisions. 22nd, short title commencement authoritative test in Hindi languages. 16th, special provisions for SC, ST classes. Special provisions for classes. 17, official language. Remember, we can remember. 18, emergency provisions is 18. Emergency provisions are given in yes or no? Yes. Provision related to amendment of the Constitution is 20. Powers of municipalities are given in 9. How many of them are correct? Answer is D. So again, 16th is special provisions for classes. 17th is official languages. 18 we remember. 18 is emergency provisions. 19th miscellaneous. 20 amendment to the Constitution. 21 transition and temporary provisions. 22 is Hindi, which is short of title, which is present in the Constitution of India. So overall, how many parts are there? Why we discussed it? See the question. Powers of the municipalities are given in part 9A of the Constitution. Emergency provisions are given in 18th. And amendment to the Constitution is present in 28th. This type of questions compulsory we can get 1 mark without any negative. Within 2 seconds we can complete. Time, see how many benefits we will have. Sure shot, time will be saved, confidence will be bombarded. So such type of remembering also we have to do it. So Schedule 1, Union and the States. Schedule 2, salaries and allowances of all the constitutional bodies up to High Court judges. 3, oath and promises except President and Vice President. 4th, Rajya Sabha members. 5th, schedule areas, tribal areas, Union list, Federal list. 8th, languages. 9th, no judicial review. 10th, anti-defection laws. Panchayat and municipalities. Part 11, Center State relations. 12, finance, property. 13, trade, commerce, intercourse. 14, government jobs. 14A, tribunals. 15, elections. 16, special provisions of the classes. 17, official language. 18, easy, emergency. 19, miscellaneous. 20, amendment. 21, transition. These are the parts and schedules of the Constitution. PYK. 2024 PYK. Yes, 2021. With reference to India, consider the following statements. There is only one citizenship and one domicile. A citizen by birth only can become the head of the state. A foreigner once granted citizenship cannot be deprived of it under any circumstances. Citizenship question was been asked in 2021. What is this? We will discuss citizenship topic and we will come back. But however, there is only one citizenship and one domicile. Yes or no? Second, a citizen by birth only can become the head of the state. No. In India, by birth, by naturalization, he can become the president. Today, Draupadi Murmu or Ramnath Kovind, either he can be a citizen of India by birth or by naturalization. What is the meaning of naturalization? The meaning of naturalization is by registration. If my birth happened in foreign country and I came and settled down in India and I am asking for citizenship, for that I have to do registration, and if I get a citizenship, it is called as naturalization. But whereas American president, his citizenship only by naturally his birth should happen in India, then only he will get citizenship. A foreigner once granted citizenship cannot be deprived of it under no. Mali vapa తీసుకోవచ్చు కదా. So this is wrong. Can a citizen by birth only can become the head of the state? Wrong. There is only one citizenship and one domicile. What is the answer for it? There is only one citizenship and one domicile, unlike some federal such as the United States where individual can have dual citizenship. India provides for single citizenship for all its citizens. So hence, it is only one citizenship and one domicile. Domicile means staying. Domicile and staying anamata. It is one citizenship and one domicile. Consider the following statements. The Constitution of India defines its basic structure in terms of federalism, secularism, fundamental rights and democracy. So, question is on what? Basic structure. Today we have basic structure? Yes. The Constitution of India defines its basic structure in terms of federalism, secularism, fundamental rights, whether it's a basic structure or not? Yes. The Constitution of India provides for judicial review to safeguard the citizenship liberties and to preserve the ideals on which the Constitution is been based. Yes or no? So, which of the above are correct? Think. Why first one? Defines its basics in terms of... Oh, very good. The Constitution of India did not define. మీరు పప్పులో కాలేస్తారా అనుకున్నాను. Constitution of India did not define. Then who defined? Judiciary defined. Supreme Court under Keshavananda Bharati case had defined about basic structure doctrine. 44th Amendment to the Constitution. Amendments. How many topics are there today? 4 topics are there. One is citizenship, other is basic philosophy, other is amendment to the Constitution. So 44th Amendment of the Constitution of India introduced an article placing the elections of the Prime Minister beyond judicial review. 44 or 42nd? 42nd. What is this? I will tell you. 46th Constitutional Amendment Act, which was been made in 1976, very clearly told that the Speaker election and the Prime Minister election, both Speaker election and Prime Minister election is not subjected to judicial review. So by this, 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act indirectly kept judicial review out of the purview of Parliament. Means what? Everything will not be subjected to judicial review. By which Constitutional Amendment Act? 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act. Number 1. The Supreme Court of India struck down the 99th Amendment to the Constitution of India as being violative of independence of judiciary. Then what is this 99th Constitutional Amendment Act? National Judicial Appointment Commission of 99th Constitutional Amendment Act told that there will be an appointment commission. This appointment commission will be appointing the Supreme Court judges and High Court judges, and in this, what happened? Prime Minister is a member. So when Prime Minister is a member of this particular appointment commission, there is compromise in the appointment of judges. When there is a compromise with respect to appointment of judges, hence independence of judiciary is not ensured. Independence of judiciary is violative. Hence Supreme Court of India told that. So hence executive particular body law. This executive is part of National Judicial Appointment Commission. Hence we cannot tell with sure shot that independence is been ensured. So hence it was been declared as null and void. Neither one nor two. Yes or no? Neither one nor two. Next. The Supreme Court struck down. True, no? Supreme Court of India struck down. Supreme Court of India struck it or not? Struck down. 99 is correct. All the important constitutional amendment acts also we will do now. So quickly we will do important constitutional amendment acts till now. Next question. 2018. Why this question was asked? If you remember, Adhaar card issue was been discussed in Supreme Court of India. And Supreme Court of India, government told that Adhaar card is mandatory to get any government scheme. They told that Adhaar card is mandatory to get any government scheme. Then the case went to Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court told that Adhaar card no need to be mandatory. Adhaar card is only optional. Hence in 2018 there was a question on Adhaar card. If you remember, Adhaar card came into existence, and for every government scheme there is a requirement of Adhaar card. So the Supreme Court of India told that no, like any other card, Adhaar card is also optional. You cannot completely tell that Adhaar card is mandatory. Hence this question was been the Supreme Court judgment in 2018. Hence question was been asked about Adhaar card. So that is, Adhaar card can be used as a proof of citizenship or domicile. Whether it's a proof? No. It is not a proof. It is just an identity card. Like how a voter card, like how an Adhaar card, how an passport, how an PAN card. Similarly, Adhaar card. Second, once issued, Adhaar number cannot be deactivated. 100% it can be deactivated. So which of the above statements are correct? Which of the statements are correct? Neither one nor two. An amendment to the Constitution of India can be initiated by introduction of a bill in Lok Sabha only. Tell me. I will give you one hint. ఎప్పుడైనా సరే, whenever there is a question statement only, you have to wait there. Whenever there is a question only, you have to wait there, and then you have to reread it. Only ani undi అని అంటే compulsory some fishy is there. And most often whenever there is only, the statement is wrong. Most often, why? Because they will not exclusively put it. Only means exclusive, no? So there is high chance of the statement being wrong. Only. An amendment to the Constitution of India can be initiated by the introduction of a bill in the Lok Sabha only, or in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. If such an amendment seeks to make changes in the federal character of the Constitution, the amendment also requires to be ratified by the legislatures of the 50%. If such an amendment, very good. Again, whenever there is only, whenever there is all, whenever the extremes, whenever there is extremes, you have to wait there. All, only, all, there cannot be the situation of all, there cannot be situation for only. So both statements are wrong. So you have to be careful to identify extremes. Okay, the extremes can be what? All, only, none, neither, exclusive. These are called as extremes. Next, yes, we will go into the subject. We will go to paper test 2 and we'll come back. Which of the following statements are correct? Every day write the test and come to the class. Every day we will have the discussion, so you evaluate here only. The 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act removed the right to property from the list of fundamental rights. Yes or no? 42nd or 44th? 44. 86th Constitutional Amendment Act incorporated Article 21 into the Indian Constitution. Yes or no? Yes. True. 86. Then 82nd? Okay. Important Constitutional Amendments Act we will discuss. Next. Part 4 of the Indian Constitution is amended by the 86. What is Part 4? DPSP. In DPSP, Article 45 is what? Education. Earlier it was 6 to 14 years the duty of the state. Now 0 to 6 years the duty of the state to provide early child care. So DPSP got amended. So answer is what? Both statement 2 and 3 are correct. Yes or no? 86th Constitutional Amendment Act talks about right to education. So one more question. 86th Constitutional Amendment Act changed which parts? 86th Constitutional Amendment Act changed which parts? Part 3, Part 4, Part 4A also. 11th fundamental duty has been added or not? 11th fundamental duty was been added. Article 45 has been changed. Article 21A was been newly added. So one Constitutional Amendment Act had brought how many changes? 3 changes. Next question. Yesterday's test, this is test 2. This is given below fundamental rights under Article 19, arrange the above rights as per the order in the Constitution. As per the order in the Constitution. I told you how to remember. Sasuma for sale, MRP. Speech and expression, assemble, association, movement, residence, profession. 3, 6, 4, 1, 2, 5. 3, 6, 1, 2, 4. D. Answer is D. Next. Consider the following statements. The idea of fundamental rights is borrowed from American Constitution. Yes or no? What is the name of it? Bill of Rights. The fundamental rights aid in deciding the constitutional validity of law or act. Think. The fundamental rights aid in deciding the constitutional validity of a law or act. The first Constitutional Amendment Act was enacted to overcome the judicial interpretations of the fundamental rights. True. Minerva Mills case, Supreme Court upheld the supremacy of fundamental rights over DPSP or told that both are equal and the Constitution has been built on the bedrock principle of balance between fundamental rights and DPSP. This is also wrong. 1, 2 and 3. How many are correct? 3 statements. The idea of fundamental rights is borrowed. Correct. Fundamental rights aid in deciding the Constitution. Article 13. Article 13. Article 13 duty is what? Reviewing the fundamental rights. So Article 30 is also part of fundamental right. Consider the following statements concerning DPSP as enshrined in the Indian Constitution. The DPSP articulated the vision of for achieving socio-economic democracy in India. Yes or no? Yes. The socio-economic democracy will be ensured by DPSP. Political democracy will be ensured by? Remember this. Political democracy will be ensured by fundamental rights. Social and economic democracy will be ensured by DPSP. Political, fundamental rights. Social, economical, DPSP. The provision encapsulated in the DPSP are partly justiciable. Partly justiciable or completely justiciable? Which article told? 37. Very good. Article 37. The concept and structure of the DPSP have been derived from the Soviet Union. No need to confuse. See, one student asked me, sir, it is Soviet Union. What was the constitution in USSR? After the disintegration also they followed the same. Only the name has been changed from USSR to Russia. Ante teda. Nothing change happened. They didn't change the constitution. They didn't change. Just they disintegrated. Okay. The provision encapsulated in the directive principles are partly just complete. The concept and structure of DPSP have been derived from Soviet Union, Irish Constitution. And a wrong statement. These principles impose significant restrictions and serve as a guiding check on the legislative and executive functions of government. Yes. Yes, tell me. Only one. Only one. Yes. The principles impose significant restrictions and serve as guiding check on the legislative and executive functions of government. The statement is DPSP do not impose restrictions, rather they just provide directions. Whereas fundamental rights will give restrictions. In place of DPSP, if it is fundamental right is there, then the statement is correct. Which of the following directives was not incorporated by the 42nd Amendment? The provision for establishment of free legal aid, 39A. The facilitation of workers' participation in the management of industries, participation of workers in management. Encouragement of formation of cooperative society by 97th Constitutional Amendment. Cooperatives, whenever you come across the word called as cooperatives, it is 97th Constitutional Amendment Act. The mandate to protect and enhance the environment. Now you remember. 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act brought 4 changes. Healthy development of children, free legal aid, participation of workers, environment. 39, 39A, 43A and 48A. 39, 39A, 43A, 48A. 4 changes were been brought by which Constitutional Amendment Act? 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act. What are those? Yes. I want everyone to put energy. You should not save your energy. You should tired. I will also be happy. 39. What is 39? 39. 39. మీ వెనకమ్మా 39 ఇక్కడ ఉంది. హెల్తీ డెవలప్మెంట్ ఆఫ్ చైల్డ్. 39A ఫ్రీ లీగల్ ఎయిడ్. 43A ఒకటే వినపడ్డది నాకు. 43A participation. 48A these are by the 97th Amendment Act discussed about cooperative society. How many times directive principles of state policy have been amended? What are the times? 42nd, 97. Yes. Again we will remember 42nd, 39, 39A, 43A, 47A. 39 is healthy development of children, free legal aid, participation of workers in management and protection of environment. 44th discussed about what? Minimize the inequalities in income and stability. Which article? 38. Article 38, 44. 86 you know, 97 you know. So 4 times the directive principles of state policy was been amended. Number 1? 47. How many? 4. 44th? 1. What is that? Minimize inequalities, article 38. Next? 86. Next? 97. So, as of now, how many times the directive principles of state policy was been amended? If we tell repeatedly, then only we will remember. 4 times. One is 42nd, 44th, 86, 97. 42nd, how many times? 4. What are those? 39, 39A, 43A, 48A. 44th, which one? 38. Inequalities are reduced. 43A is what? Participation of workers in management. 48A is what? Yes, next. Consider the following statements. Fundamental duties are not part of original constitution. Yes. When it is added? 42nd. On the recommendations of Swaran Singh Committee recommendations. 42nd, 1976. How many were been there? How many fundamental duties are there originally? 10. What is added again? 11th. What is the 11th? It is, yeah? Yes. The concept of fundamental duties is borrowed from? Yes or no? Russian or USSR? No problem. Fundamental duties have not been amended since its addition to the Constitution. No. 86 added, no, wrong. At present, there are 12 fundamental duties in the Constitution. How many? So, how many are? Again, fundamental duties are not part of the original Constitution. True, this is true. This is correct. Why? Because question is what? Incorrect. So, how many? 2. Again, extreme. Incorrect. Under whose tenure fundamental duties was added to the Constitution? Indira Gandhi. See, one question will be easy. 30% of the questions will be easy. So that is the reason one question categorically we are giving easy one question, 1 or 2. Regarding the freedom of speech and expression under fundamental rights, the freedom of speech and expression includes the freedom to criticize the government. Yes, 100%. I will tell you, see. There is a Seditious Act. According to the Seditious Act, which was been made by the British, criticizing the government was also a criminal offence. But Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita now, today, the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita had very clearly told that there is no mistake in criticizing the government. Very categorically told every citizen of the country have the right, according to Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, to criticize the functioning of the government. There are 2 drohas in that they mention. One is Rajya Droha, Desha Droha. Rajya Droha is no more a criminal offence. Desha Droha is a criminal offence. So, Seditious Act was been having 2 clauses earlier. One is Rajya Droha, other is Desha Droha. They used these words. Rajya Droha, Desha Droha. But in Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, very clearly they told, very categorically told that only Desha Droha will be considered as sedition, but not Rajya Droha. Means I can do Droham to, I can cheat state, I can cheat government of the day. Cheat means what? I can criticize government. But I should not cheat the country, the state. But I can criticize the machinery of the state. I am not allowed to cheat the state, but I am allowed to cheat the machinery of the state. Cheat means here criticize. We can expect a question. BJP government. So, see, the government of the day, questions will be asked in the UPSC. There is a trend. ఏ గవర్నమెంట్ ఉంటుందో అలాంటి ప్రశ్నలే అడుగుతారు. సో రైట్ నౌ ఇన్ భారతీయ న్యాయ సంహిత ఫస్ట్ స్టేట్మెంట్ Rajya Droha is present and Desha Droha is present. Number 2, according to Seditious Act of British, Rajya Droha is present and Desha Droha is present. So only statement 2 is correct, but statement 1 is not correct. Why? Because in Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, what is present? Only Desha Droha is present. Freedom of speech and expression includes the freedom to express insensitive feelings through books. Freedom of speech and expression includes freedom to express insensitive feelings through books. That is also expression, no? Books is also expression only. Restriction on freedom of speech and expression can only be imposed by the central government. Only. State government also. Only one. What is that? Which of the statements are correct? Freedom of speech includes the freedom to criticize the government. True. Freedom of speech includes the freedom to express insensitive feelings. Incorrect. While freedom of speech includes the right to express opinions, it does not provide unrestricted right to unrestricted. Absolute or qualified? Qualified. Yes, you tell me this. Yes, black t-shirt. Fast, no time. To secure a minimum wage for all workers. To secure a minimum wage for all workers. Yes or no? Find mentioned in the Constitution. To promote MSME in rural area, no. To organize area, no. To organize municipal panchayats. Consider the following directives. Village panchayat. Very good. To secure a minimum wage for all the workers. Oh, chettam. Constitution lo ledu. It's a minimum wages act. Are you getting my point? Minimum wages act was been there. What is present in the Constitution? Equal pay for equal work, irrespective of gender. But a minimum wages is a minimum wages act. It is present in the legislation or it is present in the Constitution? Legislation. So we discussed day 1 and day 2. Day 3 we will discuss tomorrow. Citizenship. They didn't went deep my analysis. they didn't went deeper into the topic called as citizenship. They asked very basic citizenship and domicile. Very basic questions were being asked. Why? Because the topic citizenship is more technical, more informative, which need a specialized reading. That can be required later according to our post. So that is the reason in detail they didn't went into the citizenship. But however, we will discuss. Articles. Part 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 is part 1. Part 2 is called as citizenship, in which we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. How many articles are there? 7 articles are there. Part 5. Citizenship at the commencement of Constitution. Article 6. Rights of citizens of certain persons who have migrated to India from Pakistan. At the time of commencement of the Constitution, whether I am having citizenship or not, వాళ్ళ గురించి మెన్షన్ చేసినటువంటి ఆర్టికల్ ఎంత? 5. పాకిస్తాన్ నుంచి మైగ్రేట్ అయినాక సిటిజన్షిప్ అడిగిన వాళ్ళ ఆర్టికల్ ఎంత? 6. Certain migrants to Pakistan. Who went to Pakistan? Who migrated to Pakistan? Article 5 at the time of commencement of the Constitution. Article 6 who came from Pakistan. Article 7 who went to Pakistan. Sir, who went to Pakistan? Why they mentioned who went to Pakistan and returned back? అక్కడ బాగుంటుందేమో, దూరపు కొండలు చాలా నునుపగా ఉన్నాయని చెప్పేసి ఢిల్లీ దాకా వెళ్ళి లేదు మనోళ్ళే బెటర్ అని చెప్పేసి మళ్ళీ హైదరాబాద్కి వచ్చిన వాళ్ళు అనమాట వీళ్ళందరూ. సో ఆర్టికల్ 5 talks about commencement of the Constitution. Article 6 migrated from Pakistan. 7 migrated to Pakistan, meaning migrated to Pakistan but again came. Article 8. Rights of citizenship of certain persons of Indian origin residing outside India, not Pakistan, anywhere in India. So 5 is about commencement, 6 from Pakistan, 7 to Pakistan, 8 outside India except Pakistan. 9. Persons voluntarily acquiring citizenship of a foreign state. So voluntarily who are telling that I don't want to be the citizen of India, I want to be the citizen of America. Article 9. Article 10. Continuation of the rights of citizen. If you want to continue the citizenship, what are all things you have to do? Last 11. Parliament to regulate the rights of citizenship by law. Who is having the power to regulate the citizenship laws? Parliament and state legislature. Parliament or state legislature? Only Parliament. Only Parliament. Why? Because citizenship comes under union list. 5. Commencement. 6 from Pakistan. 7 to Pakistan. 8 outside. 9 acquiring the citizenship of foreign country. 10 continuation of citizenship. అంటే నా citizenship కంటిన్యూ అవ్వాలంటే నేను ఏం చేయాలి? Continuation of citizenship. 11 Parliament is having the exclusive power to regulate the citizenship. These are all articles. First, 2 kinds of peoples are there. One is citizens, other is aliens. One is citizens, other is aliens. Full member enjoy all civil and political rights. Aliens, citizens of some other state and do not enjoy all civil and political rights. We have 2 types of aliens, foreigners. Friendly aliens and enemy aliens. Enjoy less rights than friendly aliens. No right of Article 22. The Constitution confers the following rights and privileges on the citizens of India and denies the same to aliens. Who are going to have the fundamental rights? Only to citizens. What all fundamental rights will be provided only to the citizens but not to the foreigners? What are all the fundamental rights applicable only to the citizens but not to the foreigners? PYQ. Now I am giving the list. So this fundamental rights are applicable only to the citizens but not to the foreigners. 15. So a foreigner cannot tell that you are discriminating me. No, I will discriminate you. Why? Because you are a foreigner. So Article 15 is only for citizens. Article 15 is only for citizens. Article 16, give me public employment. No, I will not give you public employment. Why? Because you are not citizen. Article 16 also. 15, 16. Article 17, abolition of all. Foreigner and the matra untouchable anlem. So abolition of untouchability. Abolition of titles. Article 19, you are not having the right to speak whatever you want. So you are being curtailed of what? Article 19. Why? Because you are foreigner. Indian citizen can criticize the government. You are foreigner. How dare you to criticize our leader? మేము కొట్టుకుంటాం, ఏమైనా చేసుకుంటాం, మీకెందుకండి? సో ఆర్టికల్ 19 ఈజ్ నాట్ అప్లికబుల్ టు 15, 16, 19. Article 20, we cannot arrest them. Because of foreigner, we cannot arrest him. Because of foreigner, we cannot tell him right to life and liberty you don't have. 22 is everyone equal. 23, because of foreigner, we cannot tell slavery. Because of foreigner, we cannot tell that your child, send your son to child labor. 25, because of foreigner, I cannot tell that don't worship your God. 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 28 are applicable to both. Which are not there here are applicable to both. Article 29. A foreigner cannot tell that I will protect my culture, I will protect my religion, I will protect my language. You cannot tell. You are a foreigner, so you don't have minority rights. Already we have a lot of minorities here. Now you don't come and tell me that I am also minority. Article 29. Cultural and educational rights. Article 29 and 30 is only for citizens. Is only for citizens. Again, only for citizens are what? 15, 16, 19, 29, 30. 5. 15, 16, 19, 29, 30. Remaining all are same. Right to vote in elections to the Lok Sabha and State Legislative Assembly. We cannot give him right to vote. Why? Because he is a foreigner. Right to contest in the members of parliament, and we cannot give him right to contest. Next, eligibility to hold certain public offices also we cannot give. Why? Because he is a foreigner. So these are all. So how many are there only for the citizens? 15, 16, 19, 29, 30. Right to vote, right to contest, right to government job also. So how many are denied for foreigners? 8 articles. How many are denied? 8 articles. What are those articles? 15, 16, 19, 29, 30. Right to vote, right to contest, right to government jobs. Last, yellow color. Whatever is in yellow color, most important. In India, both the citizens by birth and by naturalization is eligible to become the president. That is not the case for USA president. Citizenship. It identifies persons who become citizens of India at commencement of Constitution on January 26, 1950. Person domiciled in India and 3 conditions. According to Article 5, on the day of 26th January 1950 onwards, whose birth happened in India, they will be citizen. Either of parents born in India. If he had ordinarily resident in India for 5 years before, దానికన్నా ముందు నువ్వు ఫారినర్ అయినా సరే 5 సంవత్సరాల నుంచి ఇదే కంట్రీలో ఉన్నట్టు ఎవిడెన్స్ చూపిస్తే నీకు సిటిజన్షిప్ వస్తుంది. ఆర్టికల్ 5. At the time of commencement of Constitution, 3 conditions are there. Number 1, if your birth happened on or after 26. On or after 26, your parents both are born in India. Or on or after 26th, 5 years. At the time of commencement of the Constitution. This is basic. If you know this, this is enough. Article 5. 3 conditions. First condition is born, parents born, or on the 26th January 1950. Before, prior to that day, 5 years, if you are staying here, you will get the citizenship as per Article 5. Second, who migrated to India from Pakistan. He or his parents born in undivided India. If he migrated before 1907, 1948, why this date? The permit system for such migration was introduced and is ordinary resident. If both parents are Indians, Indian subcontinent, but they migrated to India from Pakistan, then they will get. Or person who went to Pakistan and migrated to India on or after 19th July 1948, still they can get citizenship. Rondu. Why that day? On that day only the rule was been made. Third, migrated after July 1948 can be registered if he is a resident for 6 months prior to date of application for register. ఈ రోజు తర్వాత వచ్చి ఒక 6 నెలలు ఉంటే 6 నెలల తర్వాత పై అప్లై చేసుకుంటే he will get citizenship by naturalization. These are by Article 6. Article 7. Who migrated to Pakistan but who cannot live there and came back. Meaning is that who migrated to Pakistan but who cannot live there and came back. Come under Article 7. Returned for resettlement can be registered if he is a resident for 6 months prior to date of application for registration. Simple. So Article 7 is telling that a person who went to Pakistan, but the people are worst there, at least our people are little bit okay. So they came back and stayed here for 6 months. After 6 months, if they apply, then they will get a citizenship. That particular process is called as naturalization. Article 8. What is Article 8? Outside India, except Pakistan. Person is parents, grandparents born in undivided India but who is ordinarily residing outside India shall become an Indian citizen if he has been registered as a citizen of India by the diplomatic or consular representatives of India in the country of his residence, whether before or after 26th January. Means 26th January 1950, I am in Kuwait, but my parents are living in Indian subcontinent, undivided India. Then I can go to the diplomat office or consular office and I can apply for registration. That particular process is called as Article 8. Through diplomatic means, through consular means, Article 8. What are all the mechanisms to get a citizenship? Statement 1, Statement 2, Statement 3, Statement 4, Statement 5. At the time of commencement of the Constitution, people coming from Pakistan, people went to Pakistan and came back. The people who are outside India, even conditions, we can expect in the form of statements. No citizenship of India if he has voluntarily acquired the citizenship of foreign state. We don't have dual citizenship. If any person get any citizenship of foreign country, by default he will lose the citizenship of India. As soon as he gets the citizenship there, he will lose here. If he accepts the citizenship there, he will lose here. Article 9. Article 10. Every person deemed to be a citizen of India shall continue to be such citizen subject to the provisions of any law made by the Parliament. ఏవైతే ఆల్రెడీ చట్టాలు ఉన్నాయో ఆ చట్టాలకి లోబడి ఉంటేనే అతనికి citizenship ఉంటుంది. Which article? 10. 11. Parliament have the power to make the regulations with respect to controlling citizenship. Yes. White shirt. Tell me. How we can get citizenship? Article 5. On the commencement of the Constitution. Next. Migrated from Pakistan. Next. Migrated to Pakistan and came back. Next. Outside India. Which method? Diplomatic method. He can get only through diplomatic method. Next. Voluntary acquisition of other countries' citizenship. Next. Continuation of. In order to continue the citizenship, we have to follow the laws made by the Parliament. 11. This is what. So we made multiple acts under Article 11. What is the mechanism to get the citizenship? First act is Citizenship Act of 1955. So first act is what? Citizenship Act of 1955. The Citizenship Act of 1955 provides for acquisition and loss of citizenship after the commencement of the Constitution. Originally, the Citizenship Act also provided for the Commonwealth citizenship, but this provision was repealed by the Citizenship Act. Acquisition of citizenship. Citizenship Act of 1955 prescribed 5 ways of acquiring citizenship. There are 5 ways of acquiring: by birth, by descent, by naturalization. First one is what? By birth, by descent, by registration, by naturalization, by incorporation of territory. Special provisions as to citizenship of persons covered by the Assam Accord. The 6 are there. I will tell you. See, first one is what? By birth. Whose birth happened in India on the day of commencement of the Constitution, or either of the parents or both the parents who are being birth happened in Indian soil. Second, descent, where my parents are not living in India, but I am the descent of the parents who are living, who lived in India, whose birth happened in India, but living other place. That is called as descent. Third, by naturalization. What is naturalization? By following all the conditions. When I satisfy all the conditions, then I will get the registration. That is called as registration. I will register either through consular, either through diplomatic ways. That is called as by registration. Fifth, incorporation of, when Goa was being incorporated, when Sikkim was being incorporated, when Puducherry was being incorporated, by default they got citizenship. Sixth, Assam Accord. What is this? See, Assam Accord is nothing but in 1985. In 1985, we made an accord whereby the illegal migrants who came from Bangladesh and settled down in Assam, a agreement was being made who will be getting the citizenship and who will be not getting the citizenship. That particular accord is called as Assam Accord. So these are the 6 points which you have to remember. How to get citizenship. Mechanisms for citizenship, either by birth, either by naturalization, either by descent, either by registration, either by incorporation of territory, or by following or being part of Assam. Constitutionally, how many mechanisms are there? 7 mechanisms are there. Citizenship Act of 1955, how many mechanisms are there? 6 mechanisms are there. Sir, you told Assam Accord, it got amended. See, the Citizenship Amendment Act 1955 added the following special provisions as to citizenship of persons covered by the Assam Accord. Then how we can lose a citizenship? How we can lose a renunciation? I don't want to be the Indian citizen. Renunciation. Termination. When you are not following the parliamentary laws, they will terminate you. Or deprivation. For a prolonged period when you are not staying in India. For a prolonged period when you are not staying in India, you are not satisfying the conditions of being an Indian citizen, then you will be deprived. So 3 mechanisms are there. One is called as renunciation, deprivation, and no need to go inside. When we will be deprived, you will be confused. So you should have an helicopter view. So deprivation, termination, and we have single citizenship. No separate state citizenship like USA and Chicago. We have only one citizenship. They have dual citizenship. One is United States of American citizenship and state citizenship. All citizenship, irrespective of the state in which they are born or reside, enjoy the same political and civil rights of citizenship all over the country, and no discrimination is made between them. Whereas, if my birth happened in Chicago, then I will have Chicago citizenship and USA citizenship. But I will be not seen same if I go to Washington, if I go to Dallas, or if I go to any other place. But in India, if my birth happened in Madhya Pradesh, if I go to Maharashtra also, people will be looking at me as same citizen of India. That is the beauty of India. One more concept. Overseas citizen of India. What is this? I will tell you. NDA government, Atal Bihari Vajpayee, he want to get the support of Pravasi Bharatiyas, who are NRIs, non-resident of India, but their origination is from India. So for the development of India, only citizens are not sufficient. We want the support of the Indian citizens who got settled in foreign countries. But they already got the citizenship in other countries. And constitutionally, we have only one citizenship. If we go near them and asking for citizenship, they are telling that, sir, according to the Constitution of India, there is only one citizenship. I am ready to help you, but if you give me citizenship, but constitutionally you are not able to do it. Then they devised a concept called as overseas citizen of India. What is this overseas citizen of India? People of Indian origin. Already one certificate, one card was been issued, which is called as people of Indian origin. So a person who went to America and staying there, living there, he will get a card called as people of Indian origin, but not citizen of India. He is American citizen, he is a green card holder, at the same time he is also a PIO holder. Then what I am doing? Whoever is having a PIO, people of Indian origin, I constituted a committee in 2000 called as LM Singhvi Committee, and this LM Singhvi Committee had recommended how to get the services from Pravasi Bharatiya, and he came up with the innovation. Sir, what you do? You give one overseas citizen card, sir. This overseas citizen card is whoever is a PIO, people of Indian origin, we will give this card, overseas Indian citizen. So this particular person, if he come to India, he will be having all the rights like a citizen. So when we give this status, that overseas citizen of India will feel pride. He want to do something to India. Why? Because citizenship feeling will come. So a new card was been created by the name called as overseas citizen of India. Now what happened? Two cards came. One is called as PIO, other is called as overseas citizen of India. So every PIO should apply for overseas citizen of India, then only PIO will get overseas citizen of India. Few people applied, few people didn't apply. So how many cards are there in foreigners, Indians who are living in foreign soil? Two cards are there. PIO, overseas citizen of India. Suddenly a PIO who want to do something to India, then he was been rejected. Why? Because you don't have OCA. For that, you should submit the documents. For that, the government should give OCA. So it's a cumbersome process. So I will not do anything. Again, he was going back. Then what happened? We created a system. We will merge overseas citizen of India and PIO. So now onwards, people of Indian origin and overseas citizen both will be called by a common name called as overseas citizen card holder. He will be called as what? Overseas citizen card holder. So ఇప్పుడు PIO ఉండదు, overseas citizen of ఉండదు. ఎవరికైతే PIO ఉన్నాడో వాళ్ళందరినీ ఇప్పుడు ఏమంటాం మనం? Overseas citizen card holder. Who got OCA also, we will call him as overseas citizen card holder. So now only one particular card will be there for Indian who is living in foreign soil by the name called as overseas citizens card holder. Now whenever this person visits India, he will be having all the rights like a citizen, except buying land. Except buying land. By the way, he might be earning more. So if he want to buy, he can buy everything. So he was not allowed to buy the land. Except buying the land, everything was been accepted to him. So that particular concept is called as overseas citizen card holder. On the recommendations of which committee? LM Singhvi Committee. Indian government, which committee? LM Singhvi Committee, to make comprehensive study of global Indian diaspora. What is diaspora? The Indian origin, not Indian citizens, Indian origin people living other countries, and to recommend measures for a constructive relationship. 2002 Amendment of the Citizenship Act to provide for grant for dual citizenship to the persons of Indian origin belonging to certain specified countries except Pakistan and Bangladesh. So in this way, overseas citizens of India card holder. By merging what? Got it? Online clear? If you read and come, after the class, once again if you read for 1 hour, finish. Permanently it will be completed. Just by listening the class, you will be learning means wrong. You should also read. Again, I am telling you, just by joining Vijayebhava, if you are going to clear prelims is also wrong. I am here not to give false promises. You should also work hard. Then your prelims will be cleared. If you clear prelims, you will get abundant confidence. If you clear mains, you will get more confidence. If you get rank, then your eyes will come here like that. Already people are going for interview now, already little bit. I should only make a call. This is a systematic exploitation of people will tell the other way. The other way is also more true. It is only up to get the result. Once result is done. Next. Philosophy of the Constitution. Compulsory one question is there on the philosophy of Constitution. What is the philosophy of the Constitution? The philosophy of the Constitution is ensuring justice, social, political, economical, ensuring liberty, liberty of thought, liberty of expression, liberty of belief, liberty of worship, liberty of faith. Philosophy of thought, ensuring equality, liberty of thought, philosophy of the Constitution, ensuring fraternity, universal brotherhood. So our Constitution was been built on these four philosophies, four principles of philosophies. One is justice, liberty, equality, fraternity. The very idea of the Constitution. If the Constitution is not ensuring this four, then there is no requirement of Constitution. If any point of time or any article, if it is not guaranteeing liberty, equality, justice, fraternity, we don't want that Constitution. This is the philosophy of Constitution. Historical context. Role of freedom struggle in shaping the Constitution. We have influence of Magna Carta, we have influence of American Revolution, we have the influence of French Revolution. Key ideals. What are our key ideals of the Constitution? Sovereignty, secular, democratic, socialist, republic. DR. This is what present in our. If these four are not ensured, then we don't require Constitution. What are the four things? Justice, equality, fraternity, and liberty. And the target of our Constitution is 5. Socialism should be established. Secularism should be established. Sovereignty should be there. Democracy should be there. Republicness should be there. These are the very basic. Constitutionalism is the idea that the authority of government derives from and is limited by a body of fundamental laws or a constitution. It's idea. What is idea? The Constitution is going to control the authority of the government. The constitutionalism is controlling the state. The constitutionalism is controlling the power of the government such that you will not become a power monger. You will become subordinate to the aspirations of the people. Government never override the aspiration of the people. Government should work according to the subordination of people. Government should work according to the aspirations of the people, but never it should override the aspirations of the people. This overriding of aspiration of people is controlled by which mechanism? Constitutionalism. That is the reason we tell that Constitution is controlling the state. Constitution is restrictive. Constitution is negative term. For whom? For the government. Constitution is a demotivating term. For whom? For the government. Constitution is a positive term. To whom? To the people of India. Who is the strength to the people? The Constitution of India. Why? Because the people's liberty, the individual liberty is promoted and protected by the Constitution of India. From whom? From the state. స్టేట్ ని కంట్రోల్ చేస్తున్నాం. స్టేట్ ని కంట్రోల్ చేయడం వల్ల వాళ్ళు కంట్రోల్లో ఉంటే ప్రాపర్ గవర్నెన్స్ ఇవ్వగలరు. వాళ్ళు కంట్రోల్లో లేకపోతే ఖచ్చితంగా దే కెనాట్ గివ్ ప్రాపర్ గవర్నెన్స్. సో హౌ దే ఆర్ కంట్రోలింగ్? బై ద కాన్స్టిట్యూషనలిజం. వాట్ కాన్స్టిట్యూట్ కాన్స్టిట్యూషనలిజం సార్? రూల్ ఆఫ్ లా, లిమిటెడ్ గవర్నమెంట్, సపరేషన్ ఆఫ్ పవర్స్, చెక్స్ అండ్ బ్యాలెన్సెస్, ఫండమెంటల్ రైట్స్. వీటిని ఉపయోగించి కంట్రోల్ చేసే మెకానిజమే Constitutionalism. Constitutionalism is controlling the power of the state by using the constitutional means. It's called as by using the power of constitution and controlling the state is called as constitutionalism. So what are the means which are present in the constitution? Rule of law. There is a rule of law, just you blindly follow the rule of law. You are not supreme power, you are a limited power. Why? Because how you have to work, it is written here. You just follow it blindly, you are limited. Separation of power. All things will not be done by government, some things will be done by legislature, some things will be done by judiciary, and few things will be done by executive. Separation of power. Fundamental rights. Individual liberty should be protected. You cannot take away the individual liberty of the individual. So first foremost duty is individual's liberty. Will be ensured by whom? Fundamental rights. And this following of fundamental rights which is present in the constitution is called as constitutionalism. And checks and balances. Executive, you will be controlled by the legislature by no confidence motion. Executive, you will be controlled by the judiciary if you are making the rules and regulations which are anti-constitution. So you don't have supreme power. Why? Because inbuilt checks and balances are there in the Constitution of India. Hence, these are the 5 things which are ensuring constitutionalism. This is there in D.D. Basu book. So how constitutionalism will be ensured? Rule of law, limited government, separation of powers, checks and balances, and expected question. These are all the mechanisms to control the state. And these all are present where? In the constitution. Purpose: to prevent arbitrary rule and ensure governance is based on established law, to protect the sovereignty of the people, to uphold justice, equality, fraternity, and liberty. Constitutional morality. Constitutional morality. Following the constitution in letter and spirit. Following the constitution in letter and spirit. With that, legality, morality, and whatever the provision which is present in the constitution is followed is called as constitutional morality. In our ethics, we will be studying what are morals, what are values. Morals. For me, which is right, for me, which is wrong is called as my morals. Ethics. For the society, what is correct, for the society, what is wrong is called as ethics. So here we are not calling constitutional ethics, we are calling constitutional morality. Constitutional morality means what is correct according to the constitution, what is wrong according to the constitution should be followed. So it is not according to the society. For example, for Indian society, what is ethics? Patriarchal system. Patriarchal system is ethics. It is accepted or not? Yes. Male is dominant, female is submissive. If somewhere, if woman is being discriminated up to some extent, yes, it is accepted. But constitutional morality means, yes, which is right to the constitution, which is not right to the constitution. Constitution prakaranga edi righto, edi wrongo, follow avadame constitutional morality. While following constitutional morality, it can deny the society's values also. While following constitutional morality, we can deny societal values also. For example, patriarchal system. Constitution is telling egalitarianism, but the society is telling patriarchalism. A committee to constitutional principles like justice, liberty, equality, and fraternity in governance and daily life balances written laws and ethical practices for greater good of society. B.R. Ambedkar, the architect of the Indian Constitution, who highlighted the importance of constitutional morality, draws from the idea that society must respect constitutional values to uphold democracy. To uphold republicanism. So whatever is present in the constitution, as per constitution what is right, as per constitution what is wrong, if we are following in letter and spirit, is called as constitutionalism. Means how the constitution is restricting the power of state such that the freedom of the individual will not be violated. So what are the mechanisms in order to ensure constitutionalism? 5. Number 1, rule of law. Separation of powers. Constitutional morality means according to the constitution what is right and according to the constitution what is wrong. If we follow in letter and spirit, it is called as constitution. follow IA mechanism is called as constitutional morality, and protection of the rights of the individual through the mechanism of constitution is called as importance of adhering to the constitutional philosophy, role of citizens in upholding this principle. The constitution is a living document. Amendment of the constitution. There are three methods of amending the constitution. One is, first one you will get the doubt. Three are there. One is by simple majority. By simple majority. By just a normal ordinary law. By an ordinary law. Some small changes we can bring in the constitution. For example, Telangana was being formed. A new state was being added. Under which article? Article 3. And it has also changed for the part 1 of the constitution. There is also change in the schedule 1 of the constitution. So constitution has been changed. Small change. But we made a constitutional amendment act or just ordinary law? Ordinary. Article 3 got no. Andhra Pradesh Reorganization Act of 2014. Three mechanisms are there. One is by ordinary legislation. One is by special majority. Another is special majority plus 50% of the state legislatures accepted by ordinary majority, which is called a simple majority. Three mechanisms are there in order to amend the constitution. First mechanism is by simple majority. Second mechanism is by special majority. Third mechanism is special majority plus 50% of the state legislatures are approved by simple majority. Which part of the constitution? ఇప్పుడే బట్టి కొట్టాం కదా మనం. 20. Part 20 of the constitution. So part 20 of the constitution talks about constitutional amendment. Three types of constitutional amendments are there: by simple majority, by special majority plus 50% of the state legislatures accepting by simple majority. Three are there. Now, what is the mechanism, sir? First one is anyhow simple majority, we will leave it. Next is special majority. So what is the mechanism for constitutional amendment? Article 368 of the Constitution. According to Article 368 of the Constitution, there is no prior recommendation of the President. First one, remember this. There is no prior recommendation of the President for a constitutional amendment bill. 2. Constitutional amendment bill can be either introduced in the Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha, any house. There is no scope for joint sitting. Compulsory they have to pass individually, either Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. 4th, special majority. Compulsory it should be passed separately by special majority. For the special majority to be happen, compulsory 50% attendance should be there. First condition is special majority, 50% attendance should be there. Within the attendance, 2/3 of the persons present and voting. That is called as special majority. When it is passed in Lok Sabha, when it is passed in Rajya Sabha, then it will go for President's assent. When it is passed by the President, then it is called as Constitutional Amendment Act has been done. So this procedure is only for those provisions which are not going to disturb federal features. But when the federal features are getting changed, then without prior permission of the President, Lok Sabha separately, Rajya Sabha separately, then it will go for State Legislative Assembly. Then we will go to State Legislative Assembly. In State Legislative Assembly, minimum quorum should be there. No 50% of attendance. Minimum quorum. Why? Because it is simple majority or simple majority. So it will go for State Legislative Assembly. How many State Legislative Assemblies are there today? 28 State Legislative Assemblies are there. In the 28 State Legislative Assembly, minimum 15 should pass it. With what majority? With simple majority. What is simple majority? 10% quorum. How many numbers present and voting in that? +1. That is called as simple majority. In this way, three mechanisms are there for the constitutional amendment. Now you tell me, when we want a special majority plus 50% of the state legislatures are accepting federal features, like what? Citizenship is union. GST, tax. President elections, vice president elections. Next. Separation of powers. Schedule 7. Schedule 7, one nation, one election now. Don't guess negative mark. So these are what? See, it states the parliament may in exercise of its constituent power amend by way of addition, variation or repeal. The same question is there earlier, if you remember. One question was there, no? Okay. First question, huh? See, addition, variation, repeal. See, addition, variation, repeal. DD Basu. However, Constitution can be amended within the provisions of basic structure doctrine. The amendment power under Article 368 is not absolute. You cannot amend everything. You can amend, but within the ambit of Article 368. So Article 368 is having limited power to amend the Constitution. Whether Article 368 is having full power to amend the Constitution or limited power to amend the Constitution. Limited power to amend the Constitution. Whatever I told, procedure, same procedure is there. Constitution के 3 ways. Amendment by simple majority, amendment by special majority, amendment by special majority of the parliament and ratification of state. Amendment by new state, boundaries, legislative councils. These all are by simple majority. Special majority of the majority whereby 50% is there, total fundamental rights, DPSP, other provisions which are not there in the 2. Special majority, election of president or union and states, Supreme Court, distribution, goods and service, taxes, 7th schedule, representation of states in parliament. Means what? One state, one nation, one election will come under this. Power of parliament to amend the constitution. All important constitutional amendment acts, I will send one PDF in your group. Most important. If time is permitting, I will do it. If not, I will send the PDF which is most important. Once go through it. Nari Shakti Vandana, which number? Negative mark. Now onwards negative answer, 100 rupees fine. Sir, give negative marking but don't put fine. Basic structure, first I will tell you. Shankari Prasad case. In Shankari Prasad case of 1951, Supreme Court told that Parliament is having exclusive power to amend any provisions of the Constitution, including fundamental rights. Which judgment? Shankari Prasad case. Parliament is supreme like British Parliament, whereby we can amend any provision of the Constitution, including fundamental right, is mentioned in which judgment? Shankari Prasad case, interpretation of basic structure doctrine. Then Golaknath case came in 1967. Shankari Prasad case, Golaknath case. Golaknath case of 1967 very clearly told that Parliament is not having the power to amend fundamental rights. Parliament is having the power to amend any provision of the Constitution except fundamental rights. Which case? Golaknath case, 1967. First one is Shankari Prasad, where fundamental rights can be amended. 1967, everything can be amended except fundamental rights. Golaknath case ruled that fundamental rights are given a transcendental and immutable position, and hence the Parliament cannot abridge and break, or take away any of these rights. Then Kesavananda Bharati case came. And the Kesavananda Bharati case, you know that under 13 judge bench of Kesavananda Bharati case, the Supreme Court very clearly told that yes, Parliament is having all the powers to amend any provisions of the Constitution. First page, where Indira Gandhi is reading the judgment, Indira Gandhi felt very happy. Second page, yes, Parliament is having any power, all the powers to amend fundamental rights also. Yes, Indira Gandhi. Then third page. But however, then next page, fourth page. It can amend any provisions of the Constitution, including the fundamental right, but basic structure should not be disturbed. Next week it is. It continues in next week. Then next week she has to wait next episode. Then after few pages, so there are some provisions. Provisions are secularism, democracy, federalism, independence of judiciary or conducting of elections, republicanism, parliamentary form of democracy. These all are rule of law. These all are basic structure. Kesavananda Bharati case. Beyond the amending power of Parliament as it affected the basic structure of the Constitution. Minerva Mills case invalid the provision, excluded judicial review. Then she got angry and she made a Constitutional Amendment Act and told that, however, this cannot be valid under the by making one constitutional amendment. But again, Minerva Mills case and told that judicial review itself is a basic structure. So what are all the basic structure doctrine which is present in the Kesavananda Bharati case is called as basic structure doctrine. For example, what? Supremacy of the Constitution, sovereign democratic republic, secular, separation of power, federal, unity, integrity, welfare, judicial review, freedom and dignity of individual, parliamentary, rule of law, harmony and balance between fundamental rights and DPSP, principle of equality, free, independence of judiciary, effective access to justice, principles, powers of Supreme Court, powers of High Court. For every judgment, try to remember this. Sampath Kumar case, what? Rule of law and judicial review. Reiterated. Delhi Judicial Service Association, what? Powers of Supreme Court. Indra Sahani case, what? Rule of law. Kumar Padma Prasad, independence of judiciary. Kihitu Holhan case, free and fair elections. Raghunath Rao case, principles of equality, unity and integrity of India. S.R. Bombaya case, most important. S.R. Bombaya case of 1994. Federalism and secularism, both. Chandrakumar case, powers of High Court under. Indra Sahani, principle of equality. All India Judges case, independent judicial system. Kuldeep Nair case, democracy, free and fair elections. Nagaraj case, principles of equality. I.R. Kohilu case, rule of law, separation of powers. Ram Jethmalani case, powers of Supreme Court. Namit Sharma case, freedom and dignity. Madras Bar Association case, judicial review. Apart from that, Puttaswamy case, privacy is also a basic structure. Privacy. Most expected questions. Tell me. Part 3 of the Indian Constitution addresses matters related to citizenship. Yes or no? Part 2. Parliament has the exclusive authority to legislate on citizenship related issues. Yes. A naturalized citizen of India can never lose their... Only one statement is correct. Yes or no? Philosophical ideas. Preamble, fundamental rights. All philosophies are present in preamble. So the following landmark, the Supreme Court gave the basic structure. Kesavananda Bharati. Constitutional Amendment. Try to see here only, this side. 97th Constitutional Amendment Act is what? 2011. What? Not here. What? 97 Cooperative Societies. 99 what? NJAC. 100 what? India Bangladesh. Very good. India Bangladesh. 103 EWS. 102 NCBC. National Commission for BC. 101 GST. From 99 onwards it is important. 99 NJAC. 100 India Bangladesh Boundary Agreement, 101 GST, 102 NCBC National Commission for BC, which was a statutory body, now got constitutional status, 103 EWS, next 105 Nari Shakti Vandana. What next important is Nari Shakti Vandana. Number. Yes, Sunny, answer the question. Chepandi. మీ వెనక మీ ముందు ఆ పెన్ చెప్పు. Nari Shakti Vandana, 106 Constitutional Amendment Act. Now you tell me. 100, yes. 102, NC, BC. 103? Yes. 105? Only one. This is what? 106. So today we discussed what? Citizenship, philosophy, amendment of the Constitution. I will share the most important constitutional amendments, but after 99 are very important, we will do in the class only. 99 is what? NJAC, National Judicial Appointment Commission. 100 what? India Bangladesh Land Boundary Agreement, LBA, Land Boundary Agreement, whereby our enclaves were being given to Bangladesh and few Bangladesh enclaves were being transferred. That is called as Land Boundary Agreement. 100. 101 GST. 102 NCBC. 103 EWS. 106 మీరే చెప్పాలి, నన్ను ఇంటర్వ్యూ చేయొద్దు, మీరు చెప్పాలి. చెప్పండి. 104 104 Anglo-Indians were being represented 2 seats in Lok Sabha. So Anglo-Indians reservations of 2 were being removed. 105
Power of state governments to identify backward sections. Power of state governments to identify backward classes
is restored by central.
Earlier, who are backward communities would be identified by the state legislature. Now the same power was being given to center. These are not that much important. If that is the case, we cannot remember all 106 constitutional amendments which are significant. If you remember, good only. Hyderabad, Karnataka region, but not that much important. Hyderabad, Karnataka region got special provisions with respect to jobs, with respect to administration. Not that. These are which are India specific. Tomorrow, day 4, what is there? Tomorrow is a very big topic: parliamentary system, federal system, center-state relations, interstate relations, emergency provisions. If you study and come parliamentary system, federal system, center-state relations, interstate and emergency provisions, 2-3 questions we can expect in the final examinations. Okay. Now what you do, your timetable should be like this: 1 to 3, today's topic you do, or you do your homework, whatever is there, just 2 hours, from 1 to 5:30, any 2 hours you do revision of the same topics. Then 5:30 you write the test. 6, then you do your own work. Then night once again read for 2 hours. Parliament, federal system, center-state relations, and you come to the class tomorrow. Then I will do the revision. Then you will connect with me. Then again you do 2 hours in the afternoon. Then you will master it. Then you write the test. Then you go for next day. Like that you have to do. So daily how many hours? 2 hours of class, 2 hours of revision of today's, and 2 hours study for tomorrow's. So 2 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours prelims preparation. Remaining 6 hours your wish. You can do chatting. Hey, where are you? Had lunch? Yes, you. Thank you.